Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. We now know that in the mob that stormed the Capitol on January 6th, pushing into the building and fighting the police, was at least one Trump political appointee, an active employee of the Trump State Department. On that day, his name is Federico Klein. That's his picture there. He's 42 years old. He was, until his resignation on January 21st of this year, a special assistant in the Bureau of Western Hemisphere Affairs. Klein entered Trump's orbit as a tech analyst on the 2016 campaign. He then joined the State Department as a staff assistant with the Trump transition team. According to the FBI affidavit, as of January 6th, the day that this all went down, insurrection, Klein also had an active top secret security clearance. That same 16-page FBI affidavit published today by the New York Times reveals that Klein was present in some of the most grisly, violent, upsetting scenes at the Capitol on January 6th. This image, captured by surveillance cameras, shows Klein in the red MAGA hat, along with other members of that insurrectionist mob entering a tunnel that leads to the doors to the Capitol building. You might remember that police were stationed at that entrance, desperately trying to use their bodies to keep the mob out. And body camera footage shows that Klein himself pushed his way to the front of the crowd. That is a Trump administration official in the mob, pushing his way to the front of the crowd, physically and verbally engaging with officers attempting to stop the invasion. It also captured Klein violently shoving a riot shield towards the officers, pushing it in between doors so they couldn't be closed. Federico Klein continued to fight to breach the police line and enter the building, according to the affidavit, until an officer deployed a chemical irritant spray. The FBI also identified Klein in this publicly posted video from January 6th. Again, a Trump administration official who's still an official when you're seeing him here. You'll see him in the center of your screen in the red cap, dark green jacket with his back to us. You may recognize that we've shown you pieces of the scene before, because in this scene, the mob violently tries to break through the police line at the entrance to the Capitol building. And you will hear Klein, a Trump administration official, encouraging members of the mob to come forward as reinforcements.
We need fresh patriots from abroad! We need fresh people! I can't even see. Let's go. We need fresh people. We need fresh people. Take a hold.
That's a mob violently attempting to invade the Capitol, stop the peaceful transfer of power. And that man, Federico Klein, according to the FBI, seen there on camera saying we need fresh people to help with the invasion on the day he's still working for the State Department. Later on in that same video, the FBI notes that we see further violent action from Klein. You can see him on the right side of your screen here, pushing and shoving with the mob, trying to break down the line of police blocking the doorway into the Capitol, right up against the officers' riot shields. And he's visible again just a few minutes later, struggling with officers, pushing back with the shield as they keep trying to disperse the rioters, attempting to stop the peaceful transfer of power. Klein was arrested yesterday, charged with multiple felonies, including assault on police officers, interfering with police during civil disorder, and obstruction of an official proceeding. In a brief court appearance today conducted by phone, he was advised that 2 of the 6 charges he's facing carry a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Now, the FBI found and arrested Federico Klein thanks in part to tips from the public, and they included his photo in a seeking information list posted online. They are able to verify his identity and details about his actions through social media and videos like the ones we just showed you. But there are still a lot of questions about other individuals involved in the attack on the Capitol, as well as the organization and planning behind it. The FBI is investigating whether foreign governments, groups, or individuals may have funded extremists who helped plan and execute the January 6th attack. FBI sources telling NBC News that the Bureau is examining payments of $500,000 in Bitcoin, apparently by a French national, to key figures and groups in the alt-right before the riot. It's kind of weird. We also know the FBI collected thousands of phone and electronic records connected to people at the scene of the rioting, including many records from the members of Congress and staff members who were there that day. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse and several of his fellow Democrats have called for Senate Ethics Committee to look into the behavior of their Republican colleagues, Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley, in relation to the events of January 6th. And today, Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell of California actually filed a lawsuit. And it's the second lawsuit on these actions. This lawsuit accuses former President Donald Trump, his son, Donald Trump Jr., Rudy Giuliani, and Republican Congressman Mo Brooks of Alabama of violating federal civil rights law and local incitement laws with their speeches at that rally near the White House on the morning of January 6th. The lawsuit alleges the Capitol attack was, quote, a direct and foreseeable consequence of the defendant's false and incendiary allegations of fraud and theft, and in direct response to the defendant's express calls for violence.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. You should know that you can follow today's top stories and breaking news and catch up on your favorite MSNBC shows all in one place. Download the NBC News app today.